Several major remakes and ports were announced or released in May, with the most notable of these a new iOS and Android version of Sonic the Hedgehog. It includes 2 new characters, a remastered soundtrack, revised leaderboards and an all-new time attack mode. 3 retro revivals are set to be available in the summer this year too, the first of these being Super Nintendo title Super Putty, getting remodeled for the Xbox 360, PS3, Wii U, Steam, Mac, Windows 8, iOS and Android. Second is the Yakuza and Yakuza 2 collection for the Wii U, and finally a spiritual successor to Road Rash, called Road Redemption, coming to PC, Mac, Linux and eventually the Wii U. To round off this section, a port of the excellent Xbox RPG Knights of the Old Republic is rumoured to be coming to the iPad soon as well. Just 2 pieces of major hardware news this month, with both of them coming from Krikkz. It's brought out a PAL version of its EverDrive-N8 ROM cartridge for the NES, and also a 60 to 72 pin adapter for the same console. The latter allows you to play Famicom titles on any NES, which is nice. It was much busier on the homebrew front in May though, with several new titles being brought to retro systems, starting off with Super Connard for the Game Boy, which appears to be a very simple minigame collection. Second is arcade action title Treasure of Babylon for the MSX Turbo R, and third is platformer Cattivik, based on an Italian comic book character, for the ZX Spectrum. A downloadable ROM has also been made available for the Mega Drive version of Puzzler Oh Mummy. Next is Request in Peace, a top-down action title set in a graveyard, for the ZX Spectrum. And to round things off, a physical cartridge release has been granted to Princess Rescue for the Atari 2600. In terms of fan translation patches in May, the most notable is arguably YY World for the Famicom, which sees Konami parodying its own titles such as Castlevania and Parodius. Next is Deep Dungeon 3 Yushi Henno Tabi, also for the Famicom. It's a dungeon crawler and probably a title suited for the more dedicated player. And now here's the roundup section where I attempt to gather all of the rest of May's retro gaming news. NES titles Balloon Fight, Ice Climber, Wrecking Crew, Mega Man 5, Super C and Mario & Yoshi for the 3DS's eShop. Carmageddon on Android devices. A DVD release of documentary 100 Yen, the Japanese arcade experience. Super Nintendo Classic Super Metroid for the Wii U. The Phoenix Wright Trilogy in Glorious HD for iOS devices. Leaked unfinished prototype versions of Rare's N64 titles Conker's Bad Fur Day and Perfect Dark. An updated version of home computer favourite Fire and Forget, subtitled The Final Assault, for PC, Mac, iOS and Android. A downloadable version of Voyeur 2 on the Philips CDI. A port of the original Apple II version of Karateka for iOS and Android. The Mega Man 5 soundtrack available to download directly from Capcom. A downloadable port of Game Boy Advance play novel Silent Hill for the Mega Drive. An early prototype of Prince of Persia 2 on the SNES available to download. PS2 title Manhunt on PSN. A few more Capcom Arcade Collection expansion packs for PSN and XBLA, including titles such as 1942 and Son Son. That's all for this month's episode then, but please do join me next time, where I'll be looking at all that's new in the world of the old.
Great! I'll grab my stuff!